If your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet, and if your mouth don't remember the taste of my love, and your eyes don't smile from your cheeks, then darling, I will be loving you till you're 17. Oh baby, 'cause baby my heart could still fall out at 23. I'm thinking out loud, people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch of the head. Me, I fall in love with you every single day. I just wanna show you who I am. And darling, hold me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Lay your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud, baby, we found love right where we are. Oh, baby, I'm talking to you. Oh, some good, good loving, some sweet, sweet loving. All I want you to do is shake some part of your body for me. And all my beautiful ladies, keep that smile on your face tonight. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, darling, I will Yes, thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this event. And we thank you with this turnout we've seen here celebrating our JNA's 50th anniversary. This is just wonderful, and we thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Maureen Bunyan, who will be our Mistress of Ceremony tonight. Miss Bunyan is a 44-year veteran of television news who anchored the 6 o'clock weeknight newscast for ABC, WJLA-TV from 1997 to 2017. She started in journalism in the 1970s. She is known as a leader in the newsroom and an advocate for women and minorities in journalism. She is a founder of the International Women's Media Foundation, which serves women in the media in 100 countries. She's also a founder of the National Association of Black Journalists, where she was inducted into the NABJ Hall of Fame in January of 2014. Miss Bunyan, I know you've seen her over and over in television. She was a household name. She has been awarded 7 local Emmys and the Ted Yates Award, given by emulators to Washington, D.C. news broadcasters who are leaders in the profession. She was named Journalist of the Year by the National Association of Black Journalists, and she received the annual Immigrant Achievement Award from the American Immigration Law Foundation in 2002. Ms. Bunyan has an extensive record of service to the community, and that's exceptional. She is a board member of the International Women's Media Foundation. She also serves on the National Advisory Board of the Casey Journalism Center on Children and Families, the Girl Scout Council of the nation's Capital Women's Advisory Board, the Advisory Committee of Women in Film and Video, and is a board member of Women of Washington. She was born in Aruba and grew up in southeastern Wisconsin, and she's of Guyanese descent. I want you to welcome Ms. Bunyan.
Thank you so much, Elaine. It's a great pleasure to be here. I thought this was the Guyanese Nationals Association dinner, but I'm very happy to see all of you. I think some of you have some Guyanese blood. I wanted to let you know that Jamaica has always been close to my heart. When I first came to Washington, 1973, the Jamaican community reached out to me, and especially the Christian family. Sarah, her parents, Doreen, and the whole family, and like many of you, I watched Sarah's children grow up, Khadija and John, and I'm so proud of them. So I dedicate tonight's event to the memory of Sarah Tiero and all those beautiful Jamaicans who have gone before us. We'd like to start with the invocation. Would you please stand? The invocation will be given by the Reverend Dr. Agoram Dike, Chair of the Caribbean American Faith-Based Leadership Council. And please remain standing after the invocation for the singing of the American and the Jamaican national anthems.
Let us pray.
Dear God, we thank you. We thank you for Jamaica, land we love. We thank you for the faith of our people, for the determination of our people, for our independence, and for our resilience. Father God, we thank you, O God, for the beginning of this, the Jamaica National Association. We thank you, O God, for the great history, the great leaders that you have given this organization for over 50 years. We thank you for those who have served on committees, those who have volunteered, those who have participated in advocating for the well-being of Jamaicans here in Washington, D.C. and the United States of America. Father, we commit tonight's event in your hand. We commit our mistress of ceremony, our president and executive. We commit every participant who will participate in this event. We commit to you in a special way our guest speaker and founding president. We commit none other than our Senator K.D. Knight. God, we leave nothing unturned tonight. So we commit, oh God, those who are responsible for the music, or DJ, or entertainers. And we thank you, oh God, that this is not only JNA, but this is the Jamaican, the Caribbean, the immigrant family that has come together. We pray, oh God, that you will bless us. And we commit, oh God, the life of every individual here, that God, you will help us to continue to be a successful people here in the diaspora. We pray, oh God, that your blessings, your favor, your protection will continue to be with us. And even as we continue to celebrate 50 years, we pray that your presence will be with us. We pray, oh God, that when we leave tonight, we will feel more energized. We will be more inspired to do more for this association and for our country. Father, if there's anything we fail to ask of you, we pray that you will not fail to grant it unto us. We thank you for all our well wishes, and we leave this event in your hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Whose was
We're honored to have with us this evening several representatives of local governments. They have brought proclamations from their respective offices. They are so numerous that we will not ask them to read the proclamations. However, you can find them in your dinner program. I would like to tell you who is here representing the various governmental organizations. I'm not going to ask you to come to the podium because I know you're hungry and ready to be served. But please join me in welcoming, representing the Honorable Muriel Bowser, Mayor of the District of Columbia, Mr. Michael Yates, Chair of the Mayor's Advisory Commission on Community Affairs. Mr. Yates. Representing the Maryland Senate, Maryland State Senator, the Honorable Shirley Nathan Pulliam. I believe that Ms. Nathan Pulliam is not with us tonight. She's in Baltimore, celebrating an anniversary on behalf of nurses, and as you know, she is a nurse. But we're happy to have a representative of her office with us. Also here tonight, representing the Maryland State's Attorney for Prince George's County, the Honorable Aisha Braithboy, Ms. Yvonne Robinson. Ms. Robinson, please stand. Representing the Prince George's County Executive, the Honorable Angela Also Brooks, is Ms. Carrie Ann Pearl. Ms. Pearl, are you here? Thank you so much. And representing the Maryland House of Delegates, the Honorable Janelle Wilkins, who is a native of Kingston, Jamaica. Ms. Wilkins, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served.
There are other prizes that are on there, so you won't win if you don't purchase raffle tickets. So please, please support us. Okay, thank you.
Dear God, we thank you for those who provide the meal. And even as we fellowship at the table, we pray that you will enrich us with your blessings. We pray that you will bless this meal to our bodies and our bodies to your service. Amen. Amen.
not what I'm smoking. You mind? Yeah. Don't think I'm playing you. Don't think I'm silver words are your prize. The change you made in me, like the angels in the skies, were envious and surprised that everyone is nice as you sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm.
Conversation at your table. We'd like to resume our program. I know that you are ready for some music and dancing, and the dance floor is getting warmed up, even as we speak. But keep your shoes on. As we start, I would like to ask the representative of the Maryland House of Delegates, the Honorable Janelle Wilkins, to come forward. Ms. Wilkins? She would like to share a few comments for us this evening.
Good evening, my fellow Jamaicans. Good evening. Is everyone having a good time? Good. I am Delegate Janelle Wilkins. I represent this district, District 20 in the Maryland House of Delegates, and I want to welcome everyone to District 20. Thank you so much for hosting this event here. I am the first Jamaican and the first Black woman to represent this district in the Maryland House of Delegates. As a proud Jamaican born in Kingston, it means so much to have the Jamaican Nationals Association here in this area to represent us and share the contributions that Jamaicans from all across the diaspora bring to this nation. We know it is a challenging time for many of us all over the country, but what we bring and the contributions that historically Jamaicans have brought have really built up this country, this United States of America. And I'm proud to be here with all of you tonight. I want to make sure that I bring greetings. I know that Her Excellency is on her way, and I want to welcome Her Excellency Ambassador Audrey P. Marks and the Honorable Senator K.D. Knight to this wonderful community. And I also want to thank Senator Nathan Pulliam, one of my mentors. She's a senator taking me under her wings. It has been wonderful as a new member. This is my third year in the Maryland House of Delegates. It's been absolutely wonderful to have a senator, a Jamaican woman, who's truly taken me under her wings and mentored me. So I want to thank her so much for all of her work in our community as well. And finally, I bring you greetings from the Maryland House of Delegates and would like to present this proclamation from the Maryland General Assembly, an official citation. Be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to the Jamaican Nationals Association in recognition of 50 years of service. Congratulations.
like to ask the other representatives here who have brought proclamations to come forward. I'd like to ask Delegate Shirley Nathan Pulliam to come forward because she arrived just a few minutes ago, and we'd like to welcome her and also to thank her for coming because she came all the way from Baltimore this evening. And we are really honored to have her with us.
Well, this is wonderful to look out and see so many of you. It's a beautiful sight from here. Good evening. Good evening. And I am so happy that you have the opportunity to meet Delegate Janelle Wilkins. She's a bright star in the Maryland General Assembly, and I'm proud of her. This year has been exceptionally special because of the amount of work that we've been able to accomplish. But for me personally, to be able to get $33.3 million to provide hepatitis diagnosis and treatment for Medicaid population has been a tremendous challenge for 5 years, and I finally got it passed. And Janelle, were you my house sponsor? And she was a house sponsor. So this is really wonderful. And the other Jamaican in the house is, she's not here tonight, was Regina Boyce. And one of the bills that I had was to create August as Caribbean Heritage Month in Maryland. And it has been a tremendous, it was a kickoff in Silver Spring with Dr. Knight giving a lecture from emancipation to independence. And that was tremendous. And then on the 25th of August, to have the inaugural service at the St. Bartholomew's Episcopal Church in Baltimore, it was jam-packed. So again, I thank you for me. It's just, I like the 75,000 of us that live here and in Maryland have contributed in the work that we've done. And so for that, I salute all of you. And my resolution, thank you very much for me. It's been so wonderful. The Senate of Maryland, and I'm no longer a delegate, but less. Okay, the Senate of Maryland, Senate of Maryland resolution, be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the Jamaican National Association of Metro DC, Elaine D. Knight, PhD, President. In recognition of the 50th year milestone of serving the community, your work to advance beneficial change and social justice is an exemplary model of high purpose. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on the 21st day of September 2019. Mike Miller, President of the Senate, Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam, sponsor. I thank you very much, and I intend to enjoy this evening. I've been running from one event from early this morning, so I'm glad just to sit down and enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Pulliam. Also here with us tonight is Michael Yates. Is Michael Yates here?
Yes.
Oh, fine.
So I guess I can go first.
Who represents the Mayor of Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, Muriel Bowser, Mr. Yates is Chair of the Mayor's Advisory Commission on Community Affairs. Mr. Yates.
Thank you. Thank you very much. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser of Washington, D.C., I would like to say congratulations to the Jamaican National Association on their 50th anniversary. To mark this occasion, there is a proclamation that I would like to read on behalf of the mayor. So if you just bear with me for a minute. Whereas today we congratulate the Jamaican National Association of Washington, D.C. on the celebration of its 50th anniversary. And whereas the presence of the Jamaican National Association in Washington, D.C. metropolitan area has strengthened the historic links between the region's Caribbean community and the United States. And whereas JNA is a leader in promoting and understanding of Jamaican culture, supporting student scholars, and recognizing and awarding the accomplishments of its members. Whereas persons of Jamaican heritage have made significant contribution to the development of our nation and include such notable persons as Colin Powell, Claude McKay, Harry Belafonte, Marcus Garvey, and Kerry Washington. And whereas JNA has impacted civic, cultural, and social movements in our city, and has promoted the creation of the first Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Community Affairs, the recognition and celebration of Caribbean American Heritage Month in June, and the creation of a District Office of Caribbean Affairs. Now, therefore, I, the Mayor of Washington, D.C., do hereby wish the Jamaican National Association of D.C. a happy 50th anniversary. Signed, Muriel Bowser, Mayor of Washington, D.C.
Mr. Yates, are you Jamaican?
I am Jamaican, yes.
Just curious.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Now, also with us, representing the Maryland State's Attorney for Prince George's County, the Honorable Aisha Braithwaite. Please welcome Ms. Yvonne Robinson.
Good evening, everyone. I do bring you greetings from Aisha Braithwaite, the Honorable Aisha Braithwaite, State's Attorney for Prince George's County, Maryland. Ms. Braithwaite really wanted to be here today, but she could not, and I tell you, I'm so happy that I am here today. I am actually from Spanish Town, Jamaica. And yeah, so let me read this. I was going to say something else, but let me just read the proclamation from Ms. Braithwaite. Whereas the State's Attorney for Prince George's County, Maryland, offers her sincerest congratulations to the Jamaican National Association of Metro DC on their 50th anniversary dinner and gala on September 21st, 2019. Whereas the association unites persons of Jamaican heritage and their friends to maintain and promote Jamaican culture and heritage, and provides educational and charitable support to persons of Jamaican heritage in the Washington, D.C. area, other U.S. Jamaican communities, and in Jamaica. Whereas the association will be hosting a week of events leading up to the gala and will bring a renewed health awareness of the various forms of cancer, and will donate part of the event's proceeds to the St. Anne's and St. Mary's branch of the Jamaican Cancer Society. Whereas the gala is in collaboration with the Embassy of Jamaica and is a culminating event marking JNA's 50th anniversary with a theme celebrating 50 years of service and embracing change. Now, therefore, I, Aisha N. Braithwaite, State's Attorney for Prince George's County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim September 21st, 2019 as a day to celebrate the 50th anniversary dinner and Gala for the Jamaican National Associations of Metro DC. Congratulations. Thank you for the great work you do.
Thank you so much. I believe that we have brought to the podium everybody who has represented a branch of local government. Am I correct?
Yes.
Anybody who's recently been elected that I don't know about? Appointed? I would like to now invite Ambassador Curtis Ward to come forward. Ambassador Ward is a well-known, of course, and admired figure in our community. He's an attorney, an international consultant, and he's provided advisory counsel to scores of governmental and non-governmental organizations around the world. He served as Jamaica's ambassador to the United Nations, and throughout his career, he has worked tirelessly to support the interests of Jamaican Americans, including serving as a past president of the Jamaican Nationals Association. To present the highlights of the association's early years. How far back are you going to go? 50 years? 50 years! When you were in short pants? And most of you were too. Please welcome Ambassador Curtis Ward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled by the idea that I've been around for 50 years. As the mistress of ceremony said, I was probably in short pants then. But you know, first let me acknowledge Senator the Honorable K.D. Knight, founding president, one of very few who are recognized as founders of the organization. Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam, our senator, Delegate Janelle Wilkins, and another founding member of the organization that is here, Mr. Desmond Malcolm, who traveled from Jamaica to be with us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My wife has given me permission to speak tonight. You know, some 50 years ago, a small group of visionary students on the campus of Howard University, in their low to mid-20s, saw a need not only for the students to connect among themselves on the campus, but for them to connect to working class Jamaicans in the Washington metropolitan area. These were not Jamaicans of our age or individuals such as we have become 50 years later. They saw the lack of connectedness between Jamaicans, yet they saw the Jamaican community as one, not a community separated by social and economic barriers. They had a vision and they acted upon it. It was a period when there was no internet and therefore no email and no social media. Some students didn't have telephones. Their way of connecting and socializing with each other were afternoon informal gatherings in front of Howard University's Founders Library, and on weekends at Jamaican parties and over domino games. Most students had limited communication with Jamaica and tried to keep up with the homeland through exchange of letters with families and friends back home. Lest we forget, JNA was organized to fill the void of communication and of community. JNA was organized to connect us together as students, to connect us together with the broader Jamaican community, and to connect us to Jamaica. Who among us from the period, that period and beyond, dare forget how much we look forward to P. Wally, JNA's monthly newsletter? While as individuals you all benefited from the vision and the actions of a few, JNA was not organized to promote individualism. In creating JNA, these visionaries helped us to connect to Jamaica and provided us with a catalyst and vehicle through which we could promote and celebrate our Jamaican heritage here in the United States. JNA helped us to show off our pride in being Jamaican. JNA helped us to be outwardly proud of our Jamaican roots, and we flaunted it. Yes, we did. Importantly, JNA was organized as an association of Jamaicans to work together through cooperative efforts and collective action to promote the welfare of the Jamaican community here in the United States and back home in Jamaica. We were promoters of Jamaican culture, not just among ourselves, but to the community at large. We were Jamaican diaspora long before any government back in Jamaica even began to understand the value of the Jamaican diaspora to the development needs of the country. JNA was promoting Jamaican cuisine at its functions and community events long before Jamaican food exporters began to appreciate that the growth of their businesses depended on Jamaicans maintaining their love and preference for Jamaican food. And that was long before jerk chicken became popular. Yet, many Jamaican exporters have taken us for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, the celebration of JNA's 50th anniversary is celebration of an important part of our history. It's an important part of the history of members of the Jamaican and Caribbean diaspora. We are celebrating and honoring those members of the Jamaican community who have selfishly given up their time and treasure over the past 50 years plus, ensuring that the organization never abandoned the original purpose for its founding. Thanks to the many programs and events, JNA has touched the lives of thousands of Jamaicans in the Washington metropolitan area and beyond in very positive ways. Through these events, we have celebrated our history and our independence, and we remain connected to our homeland and our heritage. For many years, JNA was the only organization to organize a Jamaican Independence Ball in the Washington metropolitan area. We grew into adulthood and parenthood as beneficiaries of the work of a few resolute working members of the organization who dedicated many hours of their lives to the organization and who have never given up on the original purpose for which JNA was organized. As young parents, we took advantage of JNA's programs to expose our American-born children to our Jamaican culture. Our children, now adults, have fond memories of JNA's Christmas parties, which wasn't just about celebrating the birth of Christ, but exposing them to our rich Jamaican culture. They were entertained by individuals who brought them Anansi stories and the Jamaican dialect as written by the late Honorable Louise Bennett. How could we forget? My children haven't, and I'm sure those who were a part of this organization will also have similar memories. As I said on the church service last Sunday, the founders knew what it meant to be far away from home as young men and women of different social and economic backgrounds, disconnected from their homeland and their families, separated from their cultures and the environment they grew up in, separated from the land of their birth, separated from the land they loved. They envisioned the creation of JNA as a vehicle through which to impact on the social, economic, and political lives of their fellow Jamaicans at home. Carrying out this vision is needed more today than ever in our history as an independent country. Despite the good news we hear of economic growth, poverty has increased in Jamaica in recent years. More Jamaicans are living in poverty, while many in Jamaica have grown richer. There are far too many Jamaicans lacking adequate health care, and far too many children receiving some standard education, and who cannot afford tertiary education. JNA's vision in 1969 must be JNA's vision today. JNA's work to fulfill that vision must continue to be the focus of JNA's current leaders and members. I applaud JNA for the alliance with the Jamaican Cancer Society. I applaud JNA for its annual scholarship program, helping Jamaican students in the Washington metropolitan area. And I applaud JNA for helping to feed the poor right here in this area. While JNA as an organization has an obligation to build its capacity to increase and deliver these services, we as members of the Jamaican community at large have an obligation to assist. We have an obligation to contribute our expertise and our resources to help JNA carry out its mission. Even as I applaud JNA's scholarship program, much work needs to be done to engage with the young students on the campuses and with the second and third generation Jamaicans in our communities. The perpetuity of JNA depends on all of us helping with this level of engagement. JNA must provide opportunities to attract our young Jamaicans to the organization. Alternative forms of exposures to Jamaican and Caribbean cultures must be provided. JNA must find ways to work closer with other Jamaican and Caribbean organizations in the Washington metro area and across the United States. Together, we are stronger, and in strength we can be more effective. Yes, we are stronger as a community, and we are weaker as individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I must draw your attention to the fact that as immigrants we face similar issues and are subject to anti-immigrant discriminatory practices, no matter how we arrived, where we came from, or where we have reached. As Jamaicans and people of Jamaican heritage, we have an obligation to promote unity within our Jamaican communities, with our Caribbean brothers and sisters, and with the immigrant community. I conclude with this entreaty to those who are here and to those Jamaicans who are absent. As we celebrate this milestone in our Jamaican community, we must not become so comfortable in our exclusivity of individual successes that we ignore the importance of the organization and the community it represents. We must become involved and supportive of JNA's work and purpose. And I repeat, we must bring our expertise, experiences, and resources to the table and help the organization to grow in strength and effectiveness. We must build this organization to be representative of who we are as a Jamaican community. It is our community. It is our organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Ward. Thank you so much. Our very special guest this evening is one of Jamaica's top diplomats in the United States. To give remarks on behalf of the government of Jamaica, please welcome Minister and Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of Jamaica, Her Excellency Andrea Dubidad Dixon.
Senator, the Honorable Keith Desmond Knight, Member of the Senate in Jamaica, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, JNA founder and past President, the Honorable Shirley Nathan Pulliam, Maryland State Senator, Delegate General Willikins from the Maryland House of Delegates, Ms. Yvonne Robinson, representing the Honorable Aisha Braveboy, State's Attorney for the Prince George's County of Maryland, Dr. Elaine Knight, President of the Jamaican National Association and members of the Executive Board, Mr. Rick Nugent, President and CEO of the Jamaican Association of Maryland, Dr. Claire Nelson, President and founder of the Institute of Caribbean Studies, Ms. Joy DeFore, President of the Partners of Good Shepherd, Dr. Gulda Downer, Chair of the Caribbean American Political Action Committee, and Mr. Chris Gardner, former Chair, the Reverend Noel Godfrey, immediate past President of the Jamaican Association of Maryland, Ms. Carrie Peart from the Office of the Prince George's County Executive, Mr. Michael Yates, Chair of the Mayor's Advisory Commission on Caribbean and Community Affairs, representing the Mayor of Washington, D.C., Mistress of Ceremonies, Ms. Maureen Bunyan, tonight's honorees, other distinguished guests, esteemed members of the diaspora, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good evening. At the outset, permit me to apologize for Ambassador Marx's absence, which is due to prior commitments, including her participation at the 74th session of the UN General Assembly in New York, where Prime Minister Holness will be delivering Jamaica's policy statement. Ambassador Marx looks forward to welcoming the association at the embassy in October for its reception as we continue to support the JNA's 50th anniversary celebration. It is indeed a privilege for me to bring greetings on behalf of the embassy and by extension the government of Jamaica on the occasion of the Jamaican Nationals Association 50th Anniversary Dinner and Gala. 50 years in the life of any organization is indeed a momentous milestone. The embassy wishes therefore to congratulate the current and past presidents, the current and past members of the Executive Board, as well as the entire membership of the Jamaican National Association on its golden anniversary. The organization is also to be commended for the work that it has done over the last 50 years to, among other things, unite Jamaican nationals and persons of Jamaican heritage in the diaspora, defend the welfare of all Jamaicans, and to support the economic, social, and cultural development of our beloved homeland, Jamaica. It is within this context that the embassy wishes to join the association in recognizing and acknowledging the sterling contribution that tonight's community service awardees have made to the growth and development of the association, to the welfare of our nationals in the diaspora, and to nation building. Dr. Franklin Dovin Knight, Ms. Doreen Thompson Esquire, and Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam. Permit me also to congratulate the legacy awardees, Ms. Jennifer Asher, retired Colonel Jackie Payne Borden, Mr. Franklin Burke Esquire, Ms. Marguerite Dennis, Mr. Desmond Malcolm, and Ms. Beverly Thomas. We thank them all for their distinguished service and for having made an indelible mark in their respective fields. I also want to congratulate the JNA on the establishment of its first advisory council, which will seek to guide the mandate of the organization going forward with a view to addressing future opportunities and challenges. The members are Dr. Winston Anderson, Dr. Franklin Knight, Ms. Doreen Thomas Esquire, Ambassador Curtis Ward, and Mr. Richard Wilson Esquire. I'll ask them to all stand so that we can acknowledge their presence. Thank you so much. Thank you. The embassy certainly looks forward to the further growth and development of the association over the next 50 years, as well as its invaluable support to Jamaica as the country continues on its path to achieve developed country status in keeping with Vision 20 Jamaica, and ultimately be the place of choice to live, work, raise a family, and do business. Jamaica is certainly on track to attain this goal. In recent years, based on bipartisan efforts of the current and previous administrations, the Jamaican economy has achieved macroeconomic stability, which has earned us the respect of multiple international financial institutions. In addition, there's a reduction in public debt, an increase in the foreign exchange reserves, unemployment has plummeted to its lowest levels in decades, the economy has been recording modest growth, coupled with an increase in consumer confidence, and there has been success in the Jamaican stock market, which has been rated as the best performing stock market for 2018, according to Bloomberg. I encourage and invite members of the diaspora to continue to support the mission and the activities of the association, including its latest fundraising activity, which is aimed at bringing renewed health awareness and supporting the Jamaica Cancer Society in the parishes of St. Anne and St. Mary. In concluding, please accept our very best wishes for a successful dinner and gala, and for all the other activities that will be held throughout 2019 in commemoration of the JNA's golden anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome to the podium two former presidents of the Jamaica Nationals Association, Mr. Lewis Hemmons and Franklin Burke. Gentlemen, we'll share some memories of JNA through the years.
To all who are gathered here, to those whose names have been called and recognized, I say thank you for being here, and I am supposed to give some highlights over the past years. Now, I've had my feet in these baptismal waters of JNA for over 50 years. And so the highlights that I could give are so many. I wrote some down and I will have to cull some because it would take all night. However, the first thing I must say is welcome to you all, and welcome, of course, to our first president, KD Knight. We all know him as KD, and we all were at Howard together many decades ago. We also have here with us Desmond Malcolm, who is the second president of JNA, and I myself came in a poor third as president of JNA. But before I say anything further, we have here tonight a lady who has been the backbone of JNA in the beginning, and I must recognize her as Pearl Phillips. And may we ask Pearl to stand up. Thank you, Pearl. Now, I must admit also that we owe Pearl several debts. Number one, Number one being the first secretary of JNA, who was also outstanding in the production of the early Peeny Wally, which I will talk about shortly. There's another debt that we owe Pearl, which I will not speak about right now, but we will deal with you. Pearl, I promise you I will deal with that. Now, as I said, I have had my feet in the baptismal waters for 50 years. It was my intention to take my feet out. But because of Pearl Phillips here tonight, I will keep my feet in those baptismal waters. Now, the highlights I have are so many. I numbered some, and I will just read a few. Number one, in the spring of 1969 at 1110 Columbia Road, Northwest DC, I was called from my apartment on the second floor to the apartment of my good friend, a founder of JNA, Mr. Ralston Parkinson, who I spoke with yesterday, and he expresses his regret for not being here. Now, I was called and I was asked certain questions about the JNA Constitution, which these great guys were working on. They asked me these questions. Whether I answered them properly or not, I don't know. I don't even remember the questions. And one reason is that my area of studies was international relations, and they were dealing with something different. At that meeting on the third floor of 1110 Columbia Road, we had Katie Knight, Desmond Malcolm, John Jr., Ralston Parkinson, and Ignacio McGill, who has departed this life. Now, secondly, Desmond Malcolm was elected president in 1970-71, and I was elected vice president. This period was a rebuilding and consolidating period following the most revolutionary thing they ever did, and that was a charter flight to Jamaica. I was elected president in 1971 and served 71 to 72, and the major accomplishments were the continuation and strengthening of Peeny Wally, thanks to your help, Pearl, which was the official organ of JNA, and Peeny Wally included news items from both national and international, advertisement, poetry, essays, quizzes, and short stories of a cultural nature. Peeny Wally was distributed to local grocery stores, to Howard University Moreland Spingardt Center, and to the University of the West Indies. Credit must be given to Connie Mitchell and Miss Connie Mitchell and Miss Thelma Mapp for their assiduous work in typing and physically cutting and pasting, because at that time the IBM Selectric was the state-of-the-art office equipment. We must give also belated thanks to Brother Hampton of the 3rd Street Church of God, who many times printed the Peeny Wally on a rebellious and ancient printer. And these printing sessions sometimes lasted after 2 a.m. and I must apologize to my family. Cedric Lynch and Stanley Tracy produced excellent articles. I wrote a few as editor and edited along with Cedric Lynch. The quality of the content was such that the UWI wrote to inquire about copies after Peeny Wally was suspended. Any history of JNA cannot be accurate or complete without serious reference and consultation with Peeny Wally. The administrative year of 1971-72 had two major promises were fulfilled. A, JNA was incorporated in Washington, D.C., and the reservation of the corporate name was done on May 28, 1971. The actual incorporation was fulfilled on March 24, 1972. In 2018, when I went to revalidate JNA's corporate status, I was asked what corporate document I wanted to use or to revalidate. And I prudently answered the latter one, which occurred sometime later in the 70s. JNA's headquarters fund was established at Perpetual Building Association located at 11th and East Street Northwest. The exact date of that was April 28, 1972. The fund still exists in two financial entities. Now that JNA is a bona fide 501c, I think 3 organization, the challenge is for everyone to demonstrate their sense of social consciousness and generosity. One founder, Mr. Ralston Parkinson, did so in 1978. Now, there are many other things I can say, but in the interest of time, I will cut that short and just say 2 other things. One, on the in memorial page, we see that many of our members of the early days have passed on. I must mention 4 who consistently gave extraordinary service to JNA. Most of you here, or many at least, will not even recognize the names of these people. But this is history. They are Mr. Ralma Blake, Miss Mildred Clark, Mr. David Greaves, and Miss Monica Muirhead. These members were not moved by personal gain or desire for publicity. They were pushed by patriotism, comradeship, and love, augmented by the leaven of sincerity. My final point is this, and if it's a point, I'm not sure, but I'll steal this moment and present as a small token to Katie Knight. I will take it over to you, sir. The first president of JNA, a rebel with a cause, an indefatigable fighter for any cause that he advocates. It is a book of poetry, letters, and short stories with the title, Voices in the Twilight. I'm sure, Katie, you will enjoy its lyrical nature, its thematic density, its cultural contents, and the political poetics in its 219 pages. To this, the only Jamaican organization with a history in the Washington metropolitan area, I say happy 50th anniversary. Blessings, unity, and progress in the next 50 years. Thank you.
Well, it was only perhaps about 2 months ago that I picked up the telephone and I called the Honorable K.D. Knight with the hope that he would give me some reflections as to the motivation about starting an organization for the benefit of Jamaicans in this area and to communicate with Jamaicans at home. Senator Knight excitedly recalled how he was driving along Columbia Road and 13th Street Northwest when he had engaged in a conversation with Ralston Parkinson as to what the conception of an organization would look like. And that conversation led to communication with John Jr., with Louis Hemmons, with Desmond Malcolm, and others from that early period here. which eventually brought these students at Howard to put into effect the vision of having a Jamaican organization in the Washington metro area that will cater to the needs of Jamaicans here and at home. And so at that time, I attended the first formative organizational meeting, at which time Honorable Katie Knight, then popularly known around the campus and around the town as KD, boldly stepped forward and entered into the leadership of that organization where he was elected president. From that time until now, which was from 1969, right up to the present time, I've been a part of JNA all these years, all 50 years. I remember one time I went home and was involved in some activity within JNA. My dear wife at that time, she's pastor now, she said, "Frank, are you married to JNA?" and I'll tell you, it's because you get somehow so carried away in what you're doing that you might neglect some of your duties at home. But it's been a love, and you see, actually, I've been living in the United States since 1962. JNA came about in 1969, and I'm still involved in JNA, and hopefully it's like a part of my life, if I want to admit it or not. So the first thing I recall in my reflections of JNA is our first meetings, I believe, began at the Foreign Student Service Council at 19th and R Street Northwest. There, Katie and all the other members at the time, they had their meetings and we were there a few years. Then I recall now we moved over to Banneker Community Center and Georgia Avenue, just opposite Howard University's main gate. Stayed there a few years. And then we moved on from there to, I recall, the Westminster Presbyterian Church on Alaska Avenue near Georgia Avenue. They had a hall in the rear of the church, and that's where we met. And throughout those years, we did all the work, you see that Louis mentioned here, involved ourselves whenever there is any calamities or storms or other emergencies in Jamaica, we pitch in. But I think most of us were motivated by the love of country, especially at the time when there was a great revival. There was the Black Power movement was going on. Stokely Carmichael, I regard as one of the most articulate speakers in advancing civil rights in this country. He was at the top of his form then. And so our dream at that time was ultimately to be able to have a home for ourselves, a home which we could call Jamaica House, from which we could serve the community better, have a staff, and try to do our best in serving the communities at home and in the diaspora here in Washington, D.C. But then that was not yet to come to fruition. We moved on from the Westminster Service Council, Church, on to a church located on Eastern Avenue. No, my mistake. That church was located on Piney Branch Road near the junction of, I think it's Aspen Street, where we had our meetings at that time in that hall. And I remember now, we moved on from there to, there was a building just across or adjoining the Carrick 2 nightclub that was run by Dr. what's his name? Dr. Gordon. And they had our meetings there. So we just kept moving around from place to place. So it's still the dream that we are hoping that someday we might solve the problem of finding a permanent home. We do have some resources, but we need help. to carry on or to bring to fruition that dream where we can serve our community better and be able to continue our progress that we have made so far. So again, I want to say congratulations to all the Jamaicans who have stuck with us over the years and have invited others to join us. We should continue to press on until we meet our ultimate goal. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for sharing those wonderful memories. I'm sure they inspired a lot of people in this audience to go back in time a bit. And also, thank you for taking the time to put those memories together for us tonight. To introduce our guest speaker this evening, we welcome the immediate past president of JNA, Jackie Payne Borden. In 2014, Ms. Payne Borden was honored by President Barack Obama upon her retirement as a colonel and chief nurse in the United States Air Force, where she served for 29 years. Please welcome her.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Senator, the Honorable Keith Desmond, St. Albans Knight, OJOM, QC. A barrister, senator, former member of parliament, former minister of government, political and human rights activist, Katie Knight is a patriot and nationalist. By now we know that Katie was the first president of the Jamaica Nationals Association. Knight is an advocate and humanitarian first of all. He spent the majority of his life championing the rights of the poor, oppressed, and disenfranchised. And he learned about advocacy while he was at Howard University, right here in Washington, D.C. Katie is never shy when speaking about his early beginnings in the rural Jamaican parish affectionately called St. Best. He speaks proudly of St. Albans and Brompton Elementary School and Woolmer's Boys School. After leaving high school, Knight was employed as registrar in the office of then Premier of Jamaica, Norman Washington Manley, whom he greatly admired and emulated. He later left Jamaica for Howard University, where he had 4 years of success, and then he proceeded to London, England, where he studied at Gary's Inn to become a barrister at law. He was called to the bar with honors in 1973. He returned to Jamaica that same year and entered private practice as a sole practitioner. In 1989, he formed the law firm Knight, Pickersgill, Darwin, and Samuels, while he was also elected to serve the country as Member of Parliament for the constituency of East Central St. Catherine. During his political career, he served as Minister of National Security and Justice, and also as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. As Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, he was responsible for CARICOM affairs and piloted bills in Parliament to make Jamaica compliant with the requirements to establish the Caribbean single market economy. Katie Knight retired from representational politics in 2007 after 18 years of unbroken service, having been elected as Minister of Parliament for 4 consecutive terms. He is now the senior partner in the law firm of Knight, Junior, and Samuels, formed in 2006 with fellow attorneys, John Juno and Bert Samuels. For his impeccable contribution to the law and its development, Senator Knight was appointed Queen's Counsel in 1995 and honored by the Bar Association in 2018. In 2008, he was awarded the Order of Merit by the government of Chile in recognition for his services in diplomacy. In 2014, the Order of Jamaica was conferred on him for his contribution to law and politics. Senator takes great pride in being a devoted husband to his wife Pauline for 52 years of marriage. He is a doting father and grandfather. But what I really want to emphasize is, despite his many accolades and awards, Senator Knight remains a man of humility. One of his lifelong dreams is to star in a movie, and he makes it a point of duty to highlight his infamous, though imaginary, friendship with his role model, Hollywood actor Clint Eastwood. He is affectionately called KD, Star Boy, Sheriff by many, but he prefers to be saluted by his self-styled moniker and alter ego, Bond, James Bond. In a distinguished career marked by the utmost degree of integrity and distinguished service, KD Knight remains a man of impeccable character, committed to his country. Without further ado, Honorable Senator KD Knight, first President of the Jamaica National Association, Washington, D.C. Give it up.
I'm in trouble. Ambassador Curtis, do you have my speech? I had it. The truth is I don't need it anymore because it has been delivered already. But let me acknowledge Senator Nathan Pulliam, who I was sitting beside, and I had some nice exchanges with. When she greeted me at first, I was so pleased. I said to her, you know, you're so kind. And I can't tell you what she said, but what she said caused me to say to her, strange indeed. The young ladies never told me that when I was young. So thank you, Senator. Mrs. Dubedad Dixon, Deputy Chief of Mission, I greet you well. I greet you with love and affection. And I do so because she served in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade when I happened to have been the minister, and so well did she serve. Delegate Janelle Wilkins, greetings. When I return to Jamaica, I will tell your father I saw you. Past presidents, my friend Desmond Malcolm is here, and I just tell you that Desmond was the general manager of the Urban Development Corporation, the largest corporation in Jamaica, whilst I was the chairman of the board. So we served together there. Well, hi Desmond. And then I'm just establishing some credentials. And then Ambassador Curtis Ward and Mrs. Ward. Ambassador Ward was the Jamaican ambassador to the UN when I was Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. So we had a relationship. Greetings, Ambassador. Reverend Deacon. Reverend, we spoke earlier on, and there is a connection. There's a connection. And we are both very religious persons, which is a beautiful thing to be. I am a Christian. Right. And I'm a Christian following the ethics that Christians ought to follow. And so, for example, in my political life, I always remember, thou shalt not steal. And, of course, President Elaine Knight, my cousin. All Knights are related. And I met another cousin earlier. We are related. Mistress of Ceremonies, I did not first recognize you, but I do so in a very special way, because I have been told that you are an Emmy Award winner. Is that so? Yeah. And you know, we actors and actresses, I really want to be an actor. I really want.
I can make your dream come true.
So then, if at all you are asked who was the guest speaker, just say the actor to be. Because I have often seen myself, you know, walking into one of these saloons, and I go up to the bar counter and I say to the bartender, whiskey. And then he serves me. And I ask him, do you know Jones? He says, which Jones? I said, Jones from Laramie. And who is asking for Jones? The name is Bond. Ladies and gentlemen, I have listened to Curtis and to Franklin and to Louis, and I don't know. We never, well, certainly Curtis and myself never conferred, Louis and myself never conferred, but what they have said to you is what I had intended to say. And you know, I'm going to perhaps behave now, not as Clint's friends, but as a friend of members of the judiciary. Because whenever a judgment is written, there's always one of the judges who says, having read the judgment of my noble lords, there is nothing that I could usefully add. And then I could sit, and then I could speak with the mistress of ceremonies about my future. But since I came here to say something, I will say something whether or not I have something to say. This association called the Jamaican Nationals Association is special to my heart. Very, very special indeed. And although you have heard how it started, there are some little things about the commencement period which not very many persons know. And so that will be the new thing. Firstly, we were all students at the time at Howard University. I don't know if the practice continues, but students sometimes got together and would indulge in drinking beer. Brings to mind what I heard one judge of the Supreme Court whilst he was being sworn in, he said, I like beer. And we liked beer. And there was a place on Georgia Avenue, right by Georgia and Kenya, called the Kenyan Bar and Grill. And a lot of students, including myself, went there because the beer was affordable. And we would get a pitcher of beer, and a few of us would partake. And there was something remarkable. If we had money, we would drink 4 or 5 pitchers of beer and get drunk. If we had no money, we would drink a pitcher of beer and get drunk. And so soon we recognized that drunkenness is really just a state of mind. One can desire to be without having consumed much. Well, we used to meet there, have our drinks, and that is where the first idea of an association was born in Kenyan Bar and Grill. Because the Trinidadians had an association, and the Trinidadians, their association was one that we all liked, because we just line and we just do all those things, boy. And I like the steel band. And we had a guy named Lass. Remember Lass? Yes. Lass with his combo. Yeah. And then we had the steel band too. And so their association was alive. And we thought that we should have one. But it didn't move very far until what happened was that there was an influx of migrant workers into DC and the suburbs. And it came to our attention because some of us were cab drivers, some of us were waiters, some of us were telephone operators, etc., that some exploitation was going on. These ladies who came and worked in homes, they worked 7 days per week, only because there wasn't an 8th day. And they got no time off. And they had no defined hours of work. And there was a complaint, and it reverberated throughout the community. And so the argument began again, this time in earnest. And as Franklin told you, I was driving my cab on Columbia Road going towards Connecticut Avenue, and Park was in it. And at the other end was Horace Neal. Now, Horace Neal was a rebel. Parkinson was a rebel. John Jr. was a rebel. Ignacio McGill was a rebel. Desmond Malcolm was a rebel. And so I put these rebels together, and as a peaceful person, we had an agreement that we would form an association. That night when I drove to Horace Neal, it was concretized. And it was that night that the steering committee was formed. To think of it took courage. It took courage because we were youngsters. We had never done anything like this before. And we didn't know how to ensure that it would really happen and would work. But of course, we were not afraid to fail, because if we failed, we would have tried again. But fate was good to us, and we succeeded. That organization took on board the representation of those persons who I said were being exploited. One of the things we did was to go to the Embassy of Jamaica. That was then a bold move, very bold move. But it almost was a wrong move, because we were not accommodated. But we, driven by a sense of commitment, we faced all of those barriers, and we said we would overcome. So we battled with the then ambassador, battled with him, to the point where he once said that he would meet with the group on condition that it was not led by one KD9. But we were united, and he actually sent a telegram to one of us, John Jr. But because we were united, because we were fighting for a cause, because we were going to defend our fellow Jamaicans, because we were committed to it, what went back to the ambassador was overtures rejected, because he said he would meet with the group led by John Jr., but not by me. 5 young guys taking on the ambassador was unheard of. But we did it Because as was said by Louis, we were rebels with a cause. We had something to fight for. There was right at stake. These were our fellow Jamaicans. And we eventually, the association started, and we were able to have dialogue at the embassy. There was a lady there, can't remember her surname, her name was Carmen, and she accommodated us. And what did we? What we said to the embassy representatives was what we want, we couldn't achieve, but they could. And that is that they should speak with the representatives of the Department of Labor and make it known that this exploitation was taking place. And because we persevered, they did. And after they had intervened for a while, I think it was Thursday, that all persons who were helpers in homes got a day off, and some even received some increase in salary. We felt that the time had come when Jamaicans in the metropolitan area should have an organization that provided pleasure and was able to advance the quality of life for them. And so it flourished in its early days. And we had some committed persons in leadership. Desmond Malcolm, Pearl Phillips, who is here. Pearl was the first secretary of the organization, the association. They had people like Louis Hemans and several others who are here. And were it not for them, were it not for their dedication, this association could never have lasted for 50 years. Because they set the stage. And those who came after saw their example and therefore built on what they had done, recommitted themselves, and now I stand here 50 years after to see that which we conceived, that which we worked for, being celebrated. You don't understand what's bubbling up inside of me now. Perhaps the only thing that could kind of relax me a bit would be a picture of the beer from Kenyan bars. This association means something to Jamaicans. Otherwise, you would not be here in the numbers that you are. And yet, you are only representative of the larger, wider Jamaican community in Washington, D.C. and the metropolitan area. So then, this administration and the next has to take some step to renew itself, rebrand itself, so that it can attract more. Because there is a mission that you have, a mission which you must fulfill. And that is to make your homeland a better place than what it was when you left. And it can be done. There are 4 areas that I would like to see you concentrate on. Health. Because a nation that is not healthy cannot produce. It can't. And there are some challenges in the area of the delivery of health service in Jamaica. There are times when we hear that there's a shortage of beds. We hear there's a shortage of equipment. We hear that in the hospitals there's a shortage of medical needs, medicines, all kinds of things. And in recent times, and I'm not being political, I am not. But if everybody here was a member of the People's National Party, I would be happy. But I'm not being. What is being reported is that some of the hospitals are being overrun with rats. No, you can't go to a health center to be confronted with something that is unhealthy, that can give rise to leptospirosis and some other disease. And it's not ill will on the part of administrators. I wouldn't even say it is ill will on the part of the government. I struggle not to say that. But I wouldn't say it is. Something is needed. Some management is needed. Some making health a priority in the way in which we govern a country is needed, because I can't send my relative to a hospital and then one of the things I had to give the relative is a rat trap. So I would like to see JNA as best it can to participate in the upgrade of the health services in Jamaica. How can you do that? There are many doctors and trained, very well trained nurses and pediatricians, etc. here who want to help, want to give back. Though they got their later training here, their beginnings were in Jamaica. And some who are born here of Jamaican parentage, because of what they have heard, they want to contribute to their parents' land of birth. And so I encourage that in your renewal, in the way in which you are going to be moving forward, you look at health as one of the areas where you want to assist the Jamaican community in getting good health service. Agriculture. I do believe that, you know, we are blessed in Jamaica with all kinds of different exotic fruits and other foods. But many rot. Why? Why? And yet when you come home, one of the things you ask for is, wait, where's the custard apple tree? Where's the sweets up tree? Where's the naseberry tree? Where's the cashew tree? Where's the otite apple tree? Where's the rose apple tree? You're asking for that because you like those fruits, and you can have those fruits with the kind of technology that exists today, the kind of preservatives that can be used, the canning process that exists, that these fruits can be had here as exports from Jamaica, and as exports from Jamaica, they create jobs here, and they give you comfort. So I'm not that way oriented that I can think from A to Z on these issues. But what I do know is that there are persons who are capable of doing that. And so what I would like to see is JNA taking a lead role in stimulating this kind of thought and eventually action, where you can cluster. You talk with some organization in Los Angeles, some organization somewhere else in the United States of America, where you are able, because of your expertise, to set up the marketing apparatus. You are able to join in partnerships with farmers in Jamaica so that they produce quality product. Canning process, you have expertise from here, so it's a matter of transferring. You see, people talk all the while about brain drain. Brain drain does not have to be seen in a negative way always, because the brain drain also can bring about knowledge transfer. So you are here, you gain experience, you widen your expertise, and you share it with Jamaica. That's how you transfer the knowledge. I'd like to say JNA looking at that as a possibility. In Jamaica, there is a move for partnerships, public-private sector partnerships. Have I overstepped my time? Oh my goodness! Look at that. You see, always read carefully. I was given 22 minutes. And guess what I thought? It was 2 hours and 20 minutes. And so let me close off this way. The mission is still there. The mission can be redefined. The expertise resides here, right in this room, and outside. And if it is harnessed, then it will be to the benefit of those who participate in the process, and those in Jamaica who themselves are going to be participating in a different way. But it will all be that we can say that we have assisted in building a Jamaica where we are proud that we are from there. We are proud to give back, and it is a good place to live, do business, and raise your families. Congratulations for 50 years. I look forward to being here for the 75th anniversary.
Sir. Thank you so much, Senator. I just have one question I'd like to ask in concluding the concerns about your career in television or films?
Films, but I don't mind television.
Okay, well, I've been in 2 films. I've been in television for a long time, but I haven't been in 2 films. One of them was a Wesley Snipes movie. Now, I don't know if you know him. I assume you do. I see some women's hands going up back there. Yes, they know Wesley. Now, I just have one question that will help me to understand what I can do to help your career. Now, do you know Idris Elba?
You know, I've been trying.
This is a very important question. This will help me make the decision about whether or not I can support you in your pursuit of a film career. Think carefully.
Say it again.
Do you know Idris Elba?
Well, the first thing to assist, because I've been trying to know him and I just haven't succeeded.
So have a lot of us. Well, sir, I'm sorry, I can't help you with your career since you have not passed my initial evaluation. However, if at some point in the future you do get to know Idris Elba, please call me and I will be happy to help coach you in your career. And if he becomes the next James Bond,
yeah.
Would you like to be his understudy? Or his stunt man?
Well, certainly not a stunt man. But yeah, fine. I'd accept that. You have to start somewhere.
Would you like to do his love scenes for him?
Yes.
You're hired. I'd like to ask Minister and DCM Jackie Dugard-Dixon to help us with this presentation of some awards this evening. Would you please come back to the podium? She will present the JNA Jamaican Caribbean Community Awards and then the JNA Legacy Award, which recognizes past JNA presidents. I will give the names, if you don't mind, Jackie, and Elaine, do we have? First, seated at the head table, of course, Dr. Franklin W. Knight. Second, Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam and Doreen Thompson, winners of the Jamaican Caribbean Community Awards. Please give them a round of applause. And the Jamaica National Association Legacy Awards go to Jennifer Asher, Franklin Burke, Jackie Payne Gordon, Marguerite Dennis, Desmond Malcolm, and Beverly Thomas. We would like you to stay here for just a few minutes, if you don't mind. And congratulations to our awardees. Thank you for your dedication and your service throughout the years. And now Elaine Knight will close our program. And after the program, we will take pictures So please don't go up to the back of the room. Stay right here. And if Senator Knight behaves himself, he may join us also for the photographs. Elaine? Well, while we're waiting for that, for Elaine, does anybody have any questions about tonight's program? Does anybody else besides the senator want to go into broadcasting or films? No?
Go in the middle.
In the interest of time, I'm going to say thank you for a wonderful evening. Thank you to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Miss Maureen Bunyan. Thank you for leading us through this wonderful night. We truly accept or appreciate everything that you've done here for us. This goes without saying that you are phenomenal, and we thank you so much for all that you've done for us. Thank you. Thanks to our keynote speaker, founder, and first president of JNA for all that you have done in setting the pace for us being here today. Thanks to our past presidents and officers. We're here acknowledging you. Could you please stand, all the past presidents and officers? I know I am running late, but this would not have happened without you being here. And we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Thanks to Your Excellency, Representative Mrs. Duvida Dixon. Thanks for being here tonight. Thank you to all the state and local leaders and representatives from the various organizations for being here to support us. JNA's accomplishments could not have happened without the dedication and commitment of our officers, members, founders, volunteers, and supporters over those years. To you, I offer my heartfelt gratitude and personal congratulations. JNA's accomplishments could also not have been possible without the partnerships between JNA and the numerous ambassadors and staff at the Embassy of Jamaica, Jamaican organizations, and other supportive organizations. In fact, we just had a collaborative partnership presentation of the Victoria Mutual Building Society here with Jamaica Association of Maryland. And that was wonderful, that symposium with the Victoria Mutual Building Society being here in giving us insights on going back home, investing in Jamaica, buying homes. And there's more to come with this type of partnership. Thank you for your support. Our 50th anniversary serves to launch us into a new and impactful future. And as we heard tonight from Senator K.D. Knight, and also the Advisory Council, there's more to come. There's more to come from JNA. Stay tuned. And we welcome your membership and participation. Celebrating 50 years of service and embracing change. That's what we stand for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please remember, we do have souvenirs outside. Please stop by, purchase your souvenirs. But before we close, we do have a raffle. Are we going to do that now? Or okay. All right, we won't do the raffle now because it's dancing time. All right, thank you. 50 years only happened once, and we thank you, thank you. They're going to take it. Yeah. Yes, we need to do that.
me out here by myself.
We gotta tighten up the size for them. Jackie.
Over that way?
Yeah. So stand aside, Jack.
Can I see your award? I don't see your award.
No.
Okay.
Beverly.
Okay. But you can see this one. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You held me in your arms and made love to me. You, my heart desire. Ooh, baby, your hand caress me. Your body possess me. I'd keep you. Yeah, I could. If time would stand still and leave us here this way, you know what? I'll be satisfied. Just be here with you. You set my mind on fire every time you're near. My body and soul belongs to you. So don't you ever say we're through, yeah. Sing it with me. We're still alive on the side. Still alive on the side. 'Cause you don't belong to me, and I don't belong to you. Still we're together. If that's enough for you, it's enough for me. The time is near. You got to leave and go to your family. And your woman, she'll be waiting there for you. Oh, baby, it's no explaining, baby, but the love we share is just between us two. to know what's going on.
Hey.
Maybe that's exactly what we need.
Hey. Whoa.
All you can sit down to this soca. I want to see some waistline moving right now. Wine for me. I want to know if the JA Massive, if all you're ready. I want to know. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. How you doing? Give it to me right now. Stand up on your feet right now. We're gonna wind out some of that 120. Right now. Let me see you. But we're gonna have a good time tonight. Put your hand in the air. Let me see you. Yes. I'm gonna say, hey. Talking.
gonna do the raffle right now. Check. We can come back and continue with it.
Chicken.
All right, raffle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets together. Can we have some lights over this side? Can we have some lights, house lights? Get your tickets together. We're going to do the gate prize right now. Get your tickets out. Ladies and gentlemen, get your...
Go center stage. You go over here too.
Excuse me?
You know, Millicent.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your...
Or if you want them.
Someone to
You need to be out there to pick it.
Door prize, 3 nights. Stay for 2 CRP Resort. Where is this? In Montego Bay? In lovely Montego Bay.
She want to get a picture.
It's all owned by Jamaican, all inclusive. It's a family, Jamaican family who owns it. And that's a Sea Garden Beach Resort in Montego Bay. 5 minutes from the airport. All right. Got a beachfront. All right. Got its own private beach. All right. How many prizes we won?
Just one grand door prize. And then others are raffle.
All right. Who's gonna? You'll pick it?
Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And the winner is 279. 297.
What's the name on it? What's the name?
Let him say it.
Ticket number 297.
What's the name on it?
No, there's no name.
There's no name. Ticket number 297. If you have ticket number 297, 297. If you have ticket 297, then stay back if you don't. 297. Going once. Going twice. Ticket number 297. We're going to draw another one.
What the person had here?
Oh, the person must be here. The person must be here. The person must be here to win that prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you just heard, you have to be present to win the door prize. So, ticket number 297 is gone, and we have ticket number 191. 191. Check your tickets. Double check your tickets. We have somebody? Come on up. Come on up. Hey, Gary, pay attention to me. I'm the one who's gonna have to make sure it's the. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. What's your name, sir?
Gary Grant.
Gary Grant. And I promise not to tell your wife, but who you gonna check to this thing?
My wife.
Oh. Okay. Yes.
Go get a present.
Hi Gary, congratulations. You've won for yourself a 3 nights, 4 days trip for 2 at Sea Garden Beach Resort in Montego Bay, Jamaica, just 5 minutes from the airport, with your own private beach to relax on under a coconut tree. We look forward to welcoming you.
Thank you. Let me get a picture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
The next thing we are going to do is a raffle. Those of you who bought tickets tonight, this is what okay. Those of you who bought raffle tickets tonight, you will get 2 complimentary nights at the Holiday Inn in Alexandria. Is that Virginia? Alexandria, Virginia. All right. So, get your tickets out. Those of you. All right, here's the update. The one we just announced is the second prize. It's 2 nights hotel with breakfast at Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Alexandria, Virginia. We have a third prize. Let's see if we have a... Okay. All right, so spin the thing, get your tickets out. Those of you who supported the raffle. You wanna spin and open up? Do you have a volunteer? Yeah, high tech. Just for one ticket.
That's second prize.
This is for the second prize.
Yes.
Margarita Rod, is that Rodriguez? Ticket number 524.
Need not be present to win, so this.
Oh, you need not be present to win? So you want to put second prize there?
Margarita Rodriguez.
Already.
Huh? It does have a name. We have a phone number. We have our phone number.
We have a phone number, so we call.
Right. And need not be present to win.
And you need not to be present. Okay. Now.
Second prize. All right, good.
Third prize, you know this way you go on from second to... Third prize is someone who will win an iPad.
Yes, it's right here.
And the iPad is here.
We need another. Doreen.
Somebody come, it's not that hard to come on over here. Come on, man. It's not that hard.
Yes, it is.
Well, one ticket. Mike, ticket 539. You got yourselves 539? Okay.
Oh.
Let me see, let me show you have the right. We have a winner in
Oh yeah, you got an
iPad.
iPad. Wow.
All right,
There we get a picture.
Hold on to that.
Yeah.
Hey, handsome. Brother down.
Too late. Thank you. Right. So that's
All right, so we're giving away the third prize and the second prize. And now we are going to draw for the first prize. 1 week stay for 2 at the Juvenile Grand Luxury All-Inclusive Resort and Spa, Montego Bay, Jamaica. There's a value here, but I'm not going to read that. So I'm going to ask a member of the Image Band to pull. Did you buy a ticket? Okay.
Yeah, did we spin?
Yeah, spin it.
Oh, spin it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Damn, that's so bad.
So this is the grand raffle prize?
Yes, first prize.
We have other prizes.
We have other consolation.
Consolation prizes, we'll leave with those. Ticket 1, 5, 5, 9. And it's a 718 area code.
Oh, that's New York.
I can't make up that name. The numbers.
It's sold by Alonso Donaldson and he's here. Val, yeah. 1559. Where's the ticket? Where's the ticket? Where's the ticket?
1559, that's the ticket number. Okay, what's the name of that person?
Val.
Val?
They were up here at the place the other day.
But we have a number, so I'll give the president the number.
Okay, all right.
You call them, right?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so those are the main prizes.
All right. That's all they went to get last time.
$50 cash. Two. All right, we still have. Do me a favor. Spin that thing and pull a ticket. Okay, that's good, that's good.
Can't say no mix up, right?
Cool. This is for $50? $50. Ticket? Cash?
Yes.
1249. Daniel Chase from area code 202. Jennifer Asher sold this ticket. So do they have to be present to win?
No, need not be present.
1249. Okay. Pull another ticket, sir. You don't have to see it. Pull up. Ticket 1359. This was sold by Moy, and this person's name is Teddy, Neus, MEG. People don't write properly. It's an area code 202.
Myers. Teddy Myers.
Right, Teddy Myers? And Moy sold that ticket. Let me say the ticket again is 1359. Teddy Moy, you know that person? Okay.
$50.
All right, is that it? Is that it?
Yes. You have a framed picture. Marcus Garvey framed picture.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there's one more. There's a Marcus Garvey. There's a Marcus Garvey framed picture. Right here. Marcus Garvey.
Okay. And they don't have to be here, right?
No, you don't have to.
Okay. We have 24 by 36 Marcus Garvey framed artwork by Bernard Hall. He's the artist. And you don't have to be here to win this. 1063, and the name of the person is Carol Williams, area code 301. Congratulations.
All right. What time somebody's right here, eh? Oh, she was born in here too. Nice. So you get a Marcus Garvey.
Where's the Marcus Garvey picture?
Jennifer Asher disappeared.
Does she have it?
Oh my God. Okay, we'll get it to you.
Thank you, Father.
There's a Marcus Garvey frame picture. Where is that? Okay, we'll get it to you. Yeah, thank you. Let's get a picture.
And what are those?
Where's the Marcus Garvey friend? Yeah, we'll get it to you.
Okay.
Okay, come and see. She's trying to get a. He's trying to get a picture. Hold them up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two sizes of plates here.
So that's you for the
souvenirs for tonight.
We have nobody to write.
JNA's 50th anniversary, 1969 to 2019. This is $20 and this is $30.
25. 25 and 20.
$20 for the small one, 25 for the large one. Please make sure you pick up one before you leave tonight. And we have other things.
That's what I know of so far.
This is, yeah. And you can check to see if they have other things. Mr. What you got there?
I have a presentation to make.
Oh, Mr. Go ahead. You want a mic?
Thank you.
Do you want all of these, please?
Hello, everyone. 50 years ago, our organization president was the Honorable K.D. Knight. 50 years later, another Knight became president. So it appears JNA is a Knight organization. Okay, he's over there. Dr. Knight?
Oh boy. Wow. Oh, this is amazing.
Okay, I have to read what we write.
Okay. No, she's
Wait.
reading. Yeah.
I have to read. Dr. Knight, on behalf of JNA, we would like to express our great appreciation for your dedication and hard work, making this 50th anniversary a success. You have encountered lots of challenges along the way, which you have overcome. Through perseverance and your love for the organization, thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Thank you.
Bring
it another one.
Is this part of the Dr. Knight? Are we finished?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, image back.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Have fun now. Enjoy the rest of it.
But I do the difference, I take off every one. One time, sit up in a glass, you do it just when it's up. Ooh, love. Go on with it, go on with it. Go on with it, go on with it. Go on with it, go on with it. Go on with it, hey, yeah, yeah, go on with it. Hey, go, 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 yeah, hey, hey, hey. You remember this one? We got a Jamaica, you know. Come and take up on the old country bus. Come and take up on the old country bus. let's go. Coming out, let's go. Down everywhere we go. Let's go, now go home. Bubble, bubble, gala, bubble, bubble, gala, bubble, bubble, gala, bubble, gala, bubble, gala, bubble, gala, bubble, gala. Okay, now. We're going to take you back old school style. Hey, hey, go, 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 bubble, 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 gala, 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 bubble, gala.
How you feeling?
All right. 50th anniversary. I know you remember this one. Sammy Plant is a god of my gun. And if the earth will kill most of it. Sammy dead, Sammy dead, Sammy dead, oh. Sammy dead, Sammy dead, Sammy dead, oh. And not thief, Sammy thief, why they kill him? And not thief, Sammy thief, why they kill him? But I got to play, I got to make them kill him. But I got to play, I got to make them kill him. I will say Sammy dead, I will say Sammy dead, I will say Sammy dead, you know they do. I will say Sammy dead, I like them myself. I will say Sammy dead, you know they do. Sammy Plant is a god of a golem. And if the earth will kill poor Sammy, Sammy dead, Sammy dead, Sammy dead, oh. Sammy dead, Sammy dead, Sammy dead, oh. A little more oil in my lamp, keep it burning. A little more oil in my lamp, I pray. A little more oil in my lamp, keep it burning. Keep it burning till the break of day. Come on, come on, come on. A little more oil in my life. Keep it burning. Come on, then. A little more oil in my life. I'm great. Come on, come on. A little more oil in my life. Keep it burning. Keep it burning till the break of day. Oh, Carolina, little darling, come back and make things right. To what? Oh, how I miss you. To what? Oh, how I miss you. To what? Oh, how I miss you, Carolina. Come back and make things right. To what? Carolina, my darling, you know my love, only you. Carolina, my darling, you know my love, only you. Oh, Carolina, oh, Carolina, Carolina, little darling, come back and make things right. Oh, Carolina from Jamaica, come back and make things right. Carolina, little darling, come back and make things right. Everybody now, let me see you with your hand in the air. If I had the wings of a dove, if I had the wings of a dove, I would fly away, and be at rest. Come on, come on. If I had the wings of a dove, if I had the wings of a dove, I would fly away, and be at rest. But since I had no wings, since I have no wings, since I have no wings, I cannot fly, fly, fly. Since I have no wings, since I have no wings, since I have no wings, I cannot see. Everybody now.
Thanks everyone for coming out to our JNA 50th anniversary dinner and gala. We really appreciate your support and we all know you had a good time. And thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward to a continued relationship with you. Celebrating 50 years of service and embracing change. Going forward, that's what we're going to do. Embrace change. Thank you, thank you, thank you.